Hello Ouchmono, welcome from a very rainy, blustery London. I swear it's rained the entire month of November. We're so weather obsessed us guys, aren't we? Sorry about that. Anyway, welcome to my review of Narciso by Narciso Rodriguez. This is one of my more recent acquisitions. I got this in August when I went to Glass. I sprayed it on the way out at the airport onto a piece of card, and I just smelled it the whole time I was there, and then bought it on the way back. This is a bit baffling to me. It's got a frustrating fragrance. It's the first fragrance that's really frustrated me, and I'll explain why in a little while. But for now, this came out in 2014. It's a floral woody musk, and that is kind of Narciso's signature. He's really good at playing around with musk and creating florals that you haven't necessarily smelled before. I really like the clean lines of it. I like the kind of style. His original, For Her, I think is still one of the most beautiful florals I've ever smelled. It's so modern and gorgeous, and it's a really good follow-up, but I've gone back and forth with whether I actually like it or not. It's just baffled me the whole time I've owned it and smelled it. So, the notes, first of all. So, the top notes are white, gardenia and rose. The heart note, singular, is musk. It's kind of like his signature. He, like I said, plays around with musk a lot and really just makes it quite a statement thing in his fragrances, and it's great. Oh, what's that? And then the base notes there are two types of cedarwood, black and white cedarwood. And then you have vetiver as well. So, it doesn't, if you think about the notes in your head, it doesn't really translate to that when you spray it, which is why it's kind of baffling to me. And also, I mean, the main reason it's baffling is because it smells different every time I spray this. I cannot figure out what it's trying to be, and that's kind of what makes it interesting, I guess. This is the Eau de Parfum version. Another thing Narciso Rodriguez is also known for is creating an Eau de Parfum first and then an Eau de Toilette of some of his fragrances, and they usually have quite a significant difference. It's not just a different concentration, so that's what's interesting. I haven't smelled the Eau de Toilette, which comes in the black bottle, but mine's the white Eau de Parfum. So here's the bottle. So as you can see, it's really heavy, this thing. It's like a weapon. There's a lot of extra glass all around it that make it very heavy, really chunky, and it's very wide around the sprayer, which actually is a flaw, I think, because when you spray the fragrance, and it sprays out quite a lot, it actually kind of, what's what I'm looking for? It actually lands on the bottle a little bit, because it's quite a wide bottle, but anyway, just a small gripe there. So what does it smell like? Let's get it out of the box. It's lovely. I mean, it's just very simple, isn't it? And as much as I try to see through this thing, I can't. I keep thinking I can see how much is left. You cannot see through this thing at all. So, let me spray it. Like I said, this is different every time I spray it. It's like some sort of magic perfume bottle that gives you a different perfume every time you wear it. It's really unusual. Sometimes I get a citrusy opening when it hasn't even got citrus in it. It's very unusual that way. It's like a kind of spicy citrus opening sometimes. And what's underlying is a kind of, it's very lactonic and creamy underneath. I don't even know what note it would be that would give that, because what's listed, there's nothing creamy or milky about this, but it sometimes smells like moisturiser on your skin. And you've got gardenia mainly, I would say, not really the rose, I don't get. The gardenia is the main thing of this, and it's kind of, like I said, it's like a spiky, spicy citrus opening with a milky undertone, and then this white floral as well. Sometimes it smells really soft, sometimes it smells really sour. It smells like if you curdled orange juice and milk together. So sometimes I think, oh, it's really unpleasant. It's very baffling. I don't think it would be a safe blind buy at all. I wouldn't recommend blind buying this. But it's definitely interesting. It's a bit of a grower. a lot of perfumes, you know, you have to take a bit of time to get to know them. On paper, this smelled amazing. I absolutely loved it. It had a lot more facets, but when I put it on my skin, it just makes me wary because I don't really know what I'm going to get. I don't know if it's going to be a creamy floral or if it's going to be a spicy one. It's got dry tones to it as well. It's very multi-layered, which I guess is a sign of a good perfume because it's a bit of a chameleon, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And what the musk does in this is it plays a huge role in keeping the fragrance smelling clean all the way throughout. It's like a massive heart note of light but clean musk. I would say that it's, if anything, it's probably a white musk. But yeah, again, it's the Narciso signature, and the musk is what keeps it kind of, I guess that's what must be the creamy part of it. But yeah, it has a very clean streak through the middle, which keeps it nice and fresh and not a nighttime scent. So the cedarwood is really prominent as well. Obviously there's two of them in there, so that's why. Let's not beat around the bush here. And cedarwood to me gives a kind of, it's like a powdery wood, cedarwood, but it has sometimes a tone that kind of smells a little bit petrol-y, or like terpenes. Terpenes is a kind of olfactory group that come from different notes, but it's kind of like terpenes, so it's almost slightly chemical. It's really weird. It gives it a sharpness, but not necessarily in a pleasant way. I've seen this described in many beautiful ways, and it does have beautiful facets to it, the creamy side, and the lovely kind of gardenia, the white floral thing, and the milkiness. But then it throws a few curveballs at you as well. Sometimes it's dreamy, and then sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, this is yeah, very strong cedarwood when you smell it up close as well. But when it permeates the air and when it does settle a bit, it does kind of give its true character, which is a really gorgeous and modern floral. So I really like it for that reason. I personally think it stays quite linear as well. I don't get a lot of, like a huge change from wet to dry. And some people have said they smelled it on me all day. I just keep applying this one. But this apparently has a massive sillage because I sprayed it in my office and somebody smelled it in reception. So what does that tell you? It is an eau de parfum after all. So I get probably about 7 hours out of this, which is good. And it does settle to a nice, crisp but milky gardenia. Both facets there, crisp and milky, and then a white floral gardenia, which is usually quite rough, but it's tamed by the creamy notes. So that's my review of Narciso by Narciso Rodriguez. Click my logo to subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon for another review. Goodbye!